Hey y'all, so I just finished my interview for Mrs. Black United States, and I feel like the entire time I was so overwhelmed with emotion. I was holding back tears the entire time because the last time I interviewed in this dress, I feel like I had to fight for my identity. I had to explain how me and the one other Black woman in the room were not the same person. This is something that I've wanted to talk about for the longest, but I get a little self-conscious about how I articulate my thoughts. I have big feelings, and sometimes it's hard to articulate them in a way that I think makes sense and is respectful. But I know talking about race and ethnicity is a really hot subject. I'm vying for the title of Mrs. Black United States, so it's an issue that obviously I have to talk about, and I think it's important. Something I touched on in my interview that I think is really important to share to the pageant world is that we do a lot of talk on the internet about things that need to change, about pageants that say they're inclusive and diverse, but that's not what's reflected in the winners. And we complain a lot about it online, hoping that it reaches the right people and there's a change made, but ultimately that's not what happens, or it takes a really long time to see any type of improvement. Something we all know is that money is power. We have to stop letting these titles that we decided were prestigious to basically lie and cheat us. How did this system become the most prestigious title in pageantry? How did they get that fancy stage, that beautiful crown, and the large prize package? It's because we paid for it. We funded it. Year after year, we think that we have a chance of winning this title, but we actually don't. Not unless there is a diversity quota that needs to be filled for that year. And this is all in my opinion. This can be applied to many different situations, not just Black and white situations, but we have to stop funding these pageants, these businesses, these people, these ideas that don't actually want us. Whatever demographic you fit in, if they don't actually want you, let's stop funding them. Let's take our money and invest it into a space that is supportive of us for who we are. Not just because they tolerate us, because they have a quota, because they have a bottom line, but because they're actually inclusive. They are actually accepting of people from all different walks of life. Because when you talk on the internet, it's so easy to cover things up. You can delete, report, block. A lot of these prestigious titles, they have the capacity to use scare tactics to silence people. Again, because we funded it. We made it possible for them to have this money to hire the big lawyers to help and fight their battles. But that's not okay. There are so many amazing pageants, businesses, opportunities, and experiences in other communities. And I'm not trying to villainize things that are predominantly white. That is not at all what I am meaning to do. What I'm saying is that we are the ones that decide what is prestigious. We decide the next big thing. We decide what we're going to tolerate. Are we going to continue throwing money at this thing, this pageant that is treating us poorly, or are we going to use our money to build up something that is welcoming and make that turn into something amazing? Through my journey of being more connected with the Black community, there's just so much excellence, so much knowledge, skills, wealth, untapped potential. All they need is that push. They need that investment, and they're going to take off. All of this to say, be selective with where you decide to invest your time and money. Invest into spaces that you actually resonate with and actually want you there. And we will truly see just how powerful we actually are.